Hello, Namaskar. Welcome to my channel, and this is our video on weekly international relations series, and we will discuss the all the current affairs news updates of the past week. Right. So, without further ado, let us begin with the news that came on 27th of May. So there was this article which was on the news of International Criminal Court's challenge, which was on Israel and Hamas war. And so in the last video also we talked about International Criminal Court. So let us discuss what Criminal Court is. So International Criminal Court is an intergovernmental organization, right? And this was formed by the Rome Statute, and this court is situated in Hague. Hague is in Netherlands, right? So, and India is not party to this intergovernmental organization, not a party or signatory. So what has happened that International Criminal Court has decided to put war criminal acts on Israel, and many of the Israeli ministers will be charged with such crime, and they will not be able to visit such European countries and other countries which are the party of International Criminal Court. Otherwise they might get arrested. So this was in news. So this will come more often in news, and you do not have to cover all the newses, right? So only you need to remember are these few information on International Criminal Court. That is, it is an intergovernmental body. It is set up in Hague, and it was set up under the Rome Statute, and India is not party to this intergovernmental organization, right? And it is not the same as we know that World Court. It is not the same. World Court is International Court of Justice, which is a principal organ of United Nations, right? So this is not the same. World Court is different, right? So these things you need to remember on this topic. So now let us move on to the second news. Second news is about the Putin's visit to China, right? So this writer talks about that the growing ties between Beijing and Moscow is a problem for New Delhi, and New Delhi's relations with the West, especially the United States, is good to balance the relationship vis-a-vis China, right? So a balance of power need to be maintained. So India need to have a good relations with the Americans, so that an external balance can be made possible in the Indo-Pacific, right? So let us talk about the Beijing and Russia's relations. So thing is that the global power politics, right, that is the great power politics is going on. And who are the great powers here are US, Russia and China. These countries are the players, and there are middle powers like India, European countries, right? So these countries have to cope up with the politics of these three countries. So therefore India and European countries are coming close on this, right? So they are cooperating more and more. you must have seen in the news, right? So these things you need to remember in your mind. And what else I would like to tell here is that Putin and Xi Jinping has met for like 43 times. So this shows the kind of relation these two leaders are having, and they are the de facto ruler of two great nations, that is Russia and China. So one thing is this, and on the eve of Ukraine invasion in February 2022, Putin visited China and a call for alliance without limits was said by these leaders, right? So what these leaders are doing, that they want to make a multipolar world, which definitely will have a lesser hegemony of US and more space for the Russians and the Chinese. And this is making India very anxious, because multipolar world according to China does not have the idea of multipolar Asia. Multipolar Asia is not there in Chinese scenario. China wants unipolar Asia, and multipolar Asia is important for countries like India, so that it can have its own strategic autonomy and its own aspiration, global power aspirations, right? So you need to remember these words so that you can use it in your answers, right? These are the keywords that one should use in their answers. So let us move on to the next question, next news, that Hamas rocket attack was there on Tel Aviv. So all these things, news are coming repeatedly, that anything, any new development is happening between the war, it is coming in the news. So we should not bother about these news. However, if any new locations come on the news, then you should remember the geographical location which might come in the examination, right? So we will see the map in the last, right? So let us move on to the next news. So we have seen that Russia is advancing in Kharkiv region. Kharkiv is a city in the eastern region of Ukraine, and Zelensky is requesting Biden and Xi Jinping to join the Switzerland Peace Summit. So there will be a Switzerland Peace Summit that is being organized on the behest of Switzerland, and Zelensky is urging every country to join it, and they have their even foreign minister came to India to request India to join the same. But however, there is little chance that big leaders like Narendra Modi or Biden or Xi Jinping be attending this summit, and Russia is absent in this summit. Russia is not there. So therefore, this peace summit will not bring any tangible result because of the absence of the warring party. So this is in news. So keep this in mind. So let us move on to the next news. It is about Atlantic Treaty. So recently India has successfully hosted 46th Atlantic Treaty consultative meeting. And it was held in Kochi, Kerala. So this thing you need to remember. Or India is also willing to establish another scientific lab in Atlantic, and it will be called as Maitri II, right? So this thing you need to remember. And talking about Atlantic Treaty, so let us understand some point, that it was signed in 1959 between 12 countries. ठीक है, So these 12 countries were Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Chile, France, Japan, then there was New Zealand, then there was Norway, South Africa, then there was Soviet Union, then of course UK and US were there. So one thing to remember here is that India was not part of this 12 country who signed this Atlantic Treaty in 1959, and later this treaty came into force in 1961, and today this treaty has 57 members including India. Right. So this thing you need to keep in mind, and let's move on to the next news that came on. So now we have moved on to the next day, that is the 28th of May. So Israel has started its attack on the southern city of the Gaza, that is the Rafah city. So Rafah's name is important. It is on the Egyptian border. We will see the map in the last part of this video, right? So let us quickly move on to the next news, and you can see that every court and every European leaders are against this attack because Rafah is having a lot of population of Palestinians and they will suffer. So recently attack had killed 45 people, and it is in news that many innocent people have been uh, affected because of this, right? So let us move on to the next question, next news, sorry. So there is first trilateral talk that is being held after a 4 year between the China, South Korea and Japan, right? So this is a new restart, right, between these three countries, and this is the picture, that is a Fumio Kishida, who is the top leader of the Japan, and then there is Yoon Kun Yeol, and then you can see that Li Qiang is there, who is not Xi Jinping. So Xi Jinping has not attended this meet. However, Chinese premier has attended. So this becomes important because these three countries, that is the East Asian country, are trying to reduce friction with China, right? And you can see that, you know that Japan and South Korea are the allies of US, right? And they are trying to build a rapport with China again, rapprochement. So the keyword here should be rapprochement. They want to have a rapprochement with China so that China can change its stance with its neighboring country, right? So most important thing that you need to remember, that Chinese and Japanese are the top trading partners of each other, right? So in 2023 their bilateral trade was around $266.4 billion. So this is a lot of money. So they cannot jeopardize this kind of trade because of some geopolitical tensions, right? So they are having a trilateral talk again. So this will kind of lubricate, the iron out the issues between these countries, right? And this will reduce frictions that they are having with each other, right? So this thing is there. And then China and Korea also have free trade agreement since 2014, and they are also partner in RCEP, which India did not join. So please learn about RCEP, right? And there has been in news that South Korea has recorded a first trade deficit with China in 31 years, right? So this thing is news. Please read news and please follow my channel so that you can have such kind of extraordinary information with you, right? So now let us move on to the next news. So Russia is building Uzbekistan's first nuclear plant. So we all know that Russia has its soft belly in the Central Asia. This is Russia and this is Central Asia, right? So, and erstwhile they were member of Soviet Union. After the disintegration, they become independent, and Russia is again having a good relations with this country. And this thing is in news that Russia is going to build first nuclear plant in Uzbekistan. So this thing you need to remember, and we will see the map in the last of this video, right? So now let us move on to the next news. And PM Hasina has blasted a news that they were offered a hassle-free re-elections if they allow an air base of some foreign power. So she mentions white man. So she definitely mentioning United States of America, that they were trying to interfere with the elections in Bangladesh. And she has also claimed that they wanted to make an independent Christian nation in the Bangladesh, right? So this thing should be this should make Indian authorities cautious in its neighborhood, right? Because great power politics is affecting this region as well. So now let us move on to the next news. So there was a landslide in Papua New Guinea and 2000 people have been buried there. So kindly see the map of Papua New Guinea. It is just above the Australia and it is in news. So it becomes very important. And now this news came that we already talked in the last week that Rishi Sunak has called a snap election on 4th of July, right? So this has bring a limelight on the Tories government that is becoming very unpopular in Britain. And this editorial talks about India-UK relations, right? So this editorial talks of upping the effort so that India can have a strategic depth in United Kingdom. So what you need to read about India and UK is that their free trade agreement talks is going on and when it will get finalized. So this need to be studied upon, and there is a Pakistan angle here because many Pakistanis moved to London and they have a good impact on the domestic politics of the United Kingdom, and they therefore impact the foreign relations of United Kingdom, and therefore India need to work on its relation with the United Kingdom. So this is all need to be known and read upon, right? So now let us move on to the next news. Next news is about the same Israel war in Gaza. So these things will come again and again in the news. So try not to be too much reading this kind of news and have a very clear view what is coming in the exam and what needs to be read, right? And you all know that Spain, Norway and Ireland has formally recognized Palestine recently. So this is in news. And then recently French armed force commander General Valentin Sealer was in India, because India and France are having joint military exercise Shakti. India, France, joint exercise, military exercise Shakti is going on, and its military general has came to India. So this is in news. So keep this news in touch. So sometimes exercise also come in examination, like match the following. Many exercises are giving in one tablet, and then there is another country's name are there, so you have to match these. So such kind of questions can come in examination, and you need to remember this kind of news. So let us move on to the next news. So Reliance is going to buy Russian oil in rubles. So earlier they were buying in rupees, and therefore Russia could not use the rupee, and it had to use these rupees in Indian market only. So they started investing rupees in Indian market. So now Russians company Rosneft, it has signed a deal with Reliance, so that Reliance can buy oil in rubles, and this will help in increasing the price of ruble also. So as ruble will be demanded, so it price will rise in market. So this is a very common economic term. And then there is OPEC plus group. So OPEC group is the Middle Eastern group which controls the supply of oil, and OPEC plus group also include Russia, right? So all these are deciding to cut the output of the oil. So this, when the oil supply will be cut, its price will automatically increase. So if the price of oil increase, these countries will benefit. So all these things are done by the oil supplying countries. So you need to know which are the OPEC countries, right? So let us move on to the most important news of this week, that is about the nuclear debate, right? So many countries were decrying about the that nuclear posture or nuclear weapons have become a taboo, that it can be only talked about, it cannot be used. But we have seen that in Ukraine war or in Taiwan situation, if the country had nuclear weapon, then countries like Russia or China could not bully them. So there is no doubt that nuclear weapons are a deterrence against the strong neighbor. A strong neighbor cannot bully the small country, because it can have a nuclear weapon, and it is a strong deterrence against such kind of bully country, right? So this is in news. So now this gives me opportunity to talk about India's nuclear doctrine. So India's nuclear doctrine was adopted in 2003 or 4, right? So it was done after Operation Shakti. During the Vajpayee government, India tested nuclear weapon in Operation Shakti, and even before this, during the Indira Gandhi's time, Operation Smiling Buddha was done, and nuclear bomb was tested, right? So these operations need to be remembered. And India's nuclear doctrine was adopted in 2003 and 4, and doctrine says that how a country will use its nuclear weapon in the time of peace and war. So you need to remember this. And what are the key points of India's nuclear doctrine? So India's nuclear policy talks about no first use, it says that India will not use the nuclear weapon on the first stance. If a country attacks India with a nuclear weapon, or it does something that is of catastrophic nature, then India will use the nuclear policy, and it will use it as a response, right? So there will be no first use. However, leaders like Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has talked about first use, but till now India followed the policy of no first use, right? So first point is this. Now second point is of credible minimum deterrence. So this shows that India will retaliate with credible minimum deterrence. So a country who wants to attack India need to know that India will use such kind of policy, right? So third point is about no use against non-nuclear weapon country. So if a country does not have nuclear weapon, then India will not use its nuclear weapon on it, right? And then there is nuclear deterrence against chemical and biological weapon use, right? So and then there is massive retaliation, and then there is civilian command and control. So this is the nuclear policy of India, and it will ensure that other nation knows India's policy, so that it can tread cautious line while going against India. So these 3, 4, 5, 6 points you need to remember while writing about nuclear policy. So let us move on to the next news. It is talking about end of unipolarity. So this writer also talks about the end of US hegemony. So this writer also talks about that that US is choosing war over diplomacy in both Ukraine as well as Gaza. And this article also talk about regionalization of international politics. So it means that whatever things is happening in Gaza or in Ukraine, people living far away from it wants it to be contained in the region itself. It should not become a global issue. However, US wants to globalize these issues so that it can rally the countries behind its leadership. So writer talks about the declining US hegemony and rise of the countries, like rise of the middle powers, especially the China, India, Russia, right? So this writer talks about it. So unipolarity is on the end because US hegemony is on the decline. So this is to be known in this news and nothing much. So let us move on to the next news, that 4 Pakistanis are being killed on the border of Iran because Iran forces had opened fire. So Iran and Pakistan relation is not going good. So Pakistan is in trouble with all its neighbor. that is Iran, Afghanistan, as well as India. So Pakistan needs to change its foreign policy as well as its domestic policies. So now let us move on to the next news. So Pentagon chief seeks to assure ASEAN allies cool China attention. So recently, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is going to Shangri-La dialogue. And there he will be talking with the Chinese Defense Secretary, his counterpart, so that there can be some rapprochement made and peace can come in Indo-Pacific, right? And he will be also going in Cambodia, which is pro-China country. So let us see what happens. And there is a global trade disruptions leading to rising temperatures. So UNCTAD has said this. So let us know something about UNCTAD. So UNCTAD is also an intergovernmental body. ठीक है, and it was established in 1964 by UN General Assembly, right? And it reports to UN General Assembly as well as to UN Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC. So this thing you need to remember, and it has its secretariat in Geneva, Switzerland, right? So this thing you need to remember. Now let us move on to 31st May's news, that is recently Nawaz Sharif has said that Pakistan has violated the Lahore Pact. So MEA has responded that an objective view is emerging in Pakistan vis-a-vis Pakistan relation to India, right? So what was Lahore Pact? Basically in 1999, our leader Atal Bihari Vajpayee said, what bygones are bygones, let us move forward in relations, and so he started a Lahore bus yatra, and he went to the Minar-e-Pakistan in Lahore and started a new relations with the then Prime Minister of Pakistan, that who was Nawaz Sharif. But however, soon after that, Kargil war happened, and Pakistan stabbed in the back of India, right? So therefore Sharif is saying that Pakistan violated the Lahore Pact. So this thing you need to remember. And this Lahore bus yatra continued after 1999 till 2019. After the Pulwama attack and the Uri attack, this bus yatra was suspended, and it is suspended till now, right? So this thing you need to remember. And now let us move on to the next news, that Indian government has said that Israel should respect the humanitarian law after Israel started the Rafah strike, because too much civilians casualties are coming. So Israel need to show some respect to the humanitarian law and the international law. So India has said this. India has termed it heartbreaking. So all these things are coming in the news, and Israel war is always in news. So you can see that another day same news is coming. So Israel has taken over the Rafah city till the border of Egypt, right? And its Rafah offensive is going on. So all these things are in news. And another news is that China has slammed US over the missile deployment in Philippines. So what has been happening is that China is showing aggressive stand in South China Sea against the Philippines, right? So we will see in the map after covering this news. So what Philippines has done, that Philippines has started external balancing by having friendlier relations with the US. So they started military exercise recently in the Luzon, North Luzon area of Philippines, where US has deployed its mid-range missiles. And these missile systems are able to carry Tomahawk land missiles, SM-6 missiles. All these things are news, right? So keep this in mind. So once UPSC has asked who has the THAAD system, THAAD missile system, so it was the US only. So all these things can be asked in the exam, that what are the mid-range missiles, what are the Tomahawk missiles, which country has this. So you need to answer. If you do not know, you cannot answer. So keep these things in mind. So finally, Spain has given a final nod to amnesty law in Catalonia. So you need to remember that people of Catalonia are rich and they wanted to have a separate nations than the Spain. So you need to remember that Catalonia is in Spain. Similarly, Caledonia is Scotland. Romans gave it this name of the Rome Empire. Right, on New Caledonia, there is a New Caledonia also, which is in Pacific near Australia, and it is under the French rule. And recently there was a protest there also, right? So French Macron has blamed Azerbaijan for this. So these things are coming in news. Please keep these things in mind, and you should also know that Anatolia is also there. So it is called for Turkey's plateau, Turkey's highland, right? So these things you need to remember. And let us move on to the next question, that then Russia is winning in Kharkiv area. Kharkiv is a city in eastern Ukraine. So all these things are coming repeatedly in news, so you need not have to read it again and again. So that is why I have given here that you do not have to read again. You just need to see the map of Ukraine and point these cities in there and keep it revising, so that if any match the following type question come in exam, and you will be able to solve that. So now let us move on to the next news of 1st June, that UN Secretary General confers Gender Advocate Award on Indian Major, right? So this Indian Major is Radhika Sen. She has got this award for her true role model leadership. So her name can be remembered for your ethics examination also, so that if a leadership question comes, then you can mention Radhika Sen for her true role modelship. And talking about peacekeeping mission, then India has been a major country who has provided the largest India has been the largest contributor of troops to UN peacekeeping, right? So peacekeepers have blue helmets, so they are also called as blue helmets or blue berets. So this is a French word for the blue helmets, right? So you need to remember that peacekeepers are also called as blue berets or blue helmets. This may come in exam, so keep it in mind. And India till now has provided 2,87,000 troops for peacekeeping, right? So India is asking for United Nations permanent seat, and one contribution of India that supports India's permanent seat in UNSC is UN peacekeeping also, because India has provided this much amount of troops there, right? And India has also deployed a full member engagement team in Democratic Republic of Congo and Abaya region. So Republic of Congo, Abaya, Abaya region, these regions maps you should see and learn at how India's largest women contingent have functioned here, right? So India has its policy of Nari Shakti initiative, so India is doing this, right? So keep these things in mind. And recently South Africa is going for coalition government. India as well as South Africa were in election mode, right? And South Africa is heading for coalition government, and its party African National Congress is losing majority for the first time. So if you talk about African National Party, so this party was led by Nelson Mandela, and it was against the apartheid by the Europeans. So this party used to get majority all the time, but it is the first time that it is losing its majority. So keep this thing in mind, and I am sure that I am giving you valuable information. So please do not forget to like and subscribe my channel, and please share it with your friends also. And US and China Defense Secretary are talking in on the sidelines of Shangri-La dialogue. Right. So Shangri-La dialogue happens in Singapore, and it is a track one dialogue where defense minister and such high level ministers of other countries come and have a talk, right? And it is done by the think tank. What is the name of the think tank? Its name is International Institute for Strategic Studies, IISS. It was formerly dominated by the British, but later Asians also joined, like Japan, and it has become a truly global think tank, and it is one of the best think tank on security issues, right? So keep following this kind of think tank so that you can have a better understanding of global politics. So Shangri-La dialogue, so all these things are happening, so keep these things in check. So India's first woman permanent representative to UN, who was Ruchira Kamboj, and she is retiring after 35 years of service in Indian Foreign Service, right? And so if you talk about India's permanent representative of India to the United Nations, so it is the foremost diplomatic representative to the United Nations, and the permanent representative, that is the post Ruchira Kamboj was having. See, that post is the permanent representative post, and it is the UN ambassador of the country, and is the head of the permanent mission of India to the United Nations. And United Nations headquarters is in New York City. So there they are situated and working, and Ruchira Kamboj is retiring from that position right now. And India's first permanent representative to the United Nations was Samir Sen. He was during the time of 1946 to 48. So all these things you need to keep in mind. And you can see the Jabalia refugee camp is in news, where women are going away because things have been destroyed by the Israeli bombardment, and countries like US has been trying to have a truce plan, and Hamas has responded positively. However, Netanyahu is saying that there can be no permanent truce until Hamas is totally destroyed. So all ball by ball commentary on any international war or any issue that is continuing is not necessary, so we can skip these things. However, Jabalia refugee camp need to be remembered, right? So keep this in mind. And Zelensky has also attended the Shangri-La dialogue in Singapore so that he can gather support for the Switzerland peace summit that we have already talked. So let us move on from this also. And now talking about cricket, T20 World Cup is going to be happening in America for the first time. So this post is that America had a growing cricket history during the time of George Washington, but however it became the victim of the civil wars, US civil wars, and it cannot grow further, right? So these things are the news. Now let us move on to the map series of our discussion. So seeing the Central Asian region, so you can see that below Russia there is Central Asia. So Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. So Uzbekistan is the country where Russia is building its nuclear powerhouse. So you can see this Uzbekistan, and Aral Sea is in between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, and Caspian Sea is bordering Russia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, and Iran. So these things you need to keep in mind. And China has border with Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. So all these things you need to remember. Now let's see the map of Israel. So there is Golan Heights, then there is Golan Heights is between Israel and Syria. Then there is West Bank, which is on the west side of the river Jordan, and it is between Jordan and Israel. And then there is Dead Sea, which is again in between Israel and Jordan. Then this is Gaza Strip. It is on the bank of Mediterranean Ocean, and it is bordering with Egypt and Israel. And then there is Port of Eilat, that is Israel's only port on the Gulf of Aqaba in Red Sea, right? So all these things you need to remember. Now let us talk about the Gaza. So Gaza is divided between different cities. That North Gaza is another city, Gaza city is a city, then Dar el Balah is a city, then Khan Yunus is a city, then Rafah is a city. So recently Israelis are bombarding this region, and Rafah is on the border of Egypt, and this border is being captured by the Israelis right now. So Jabalia refugee camp is always in news. You need to remember this. And then there is one more, that is Nusairat refugee camp. It is also in news, so keep this news in mind, and these locations can come in examinations. So now let us move on to Ukraine. Ukraine is bordered by Russia, Belarus, Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, and Moldova. And this is Black Sea, and this is Crimea, and this is Azov, Sea of Azov, right? And this is Kerch Strait. So all these maps you need to always remember. Now let us see some important city which were in news in Ukraine. So Kiev is its capital, so it is in news. So Russian offensive was in Sumy. Kharkiv, Russia is actively capturing this city right now, Kharkiv. And Mariupol was in news. Zaporozhye has nuclear power plant, right? And then Melitopol is there. Kherson was in news. Odisha was in news because they are on the side of Black Sea, right? Sea of this is the Kerch Strait, and Sea of Azov is there. So all these places were in news. So you need to remember, whenever it comes in examination, you need to able to mark these carefully. And also Lviv was in news, so you need to remember these. So now see what are the disputes in South China Sea. So Paracel Island, Scarborough Shoal, and Spratly Island, these three islands are disputed in South China Sea. So 9-dash line is there. China assumes that it has areas which are under the 9-dash line is under its own suzerainty. So this is a issue, right? So now Paracel Island is in dispute between China, Vietnam and Taiwan. And Scarborough Shoal is in dispute between China, Vietnam, Philippines as well as Taiwan. And Spratly Island is in dispute with China, Vietnam, Malaysia, Philippines as well as Taiwan. So there is lots of dispute going on in South China Sea, and China, because of its massive navy, is able to flex its muscle there, right? So therefore these countries are going in refuse and external balancing with US, right? So these things are news. Keep it in mind and keep reading this kind of news. So we have already seen Ukraine. So this was it for today. So this is the last map. So I hope that you have learned something from this video series, and if you like my videos, then please like, subscribe, and please share to your friends, so that I get encouraged by seeing my subscribers increasing and seeing likes and comments and feedbacks on my videos. So please guys, please help me and help yourself, so that you can get this kind of awesome videos every week from my side. And I am guaranteeing that these videos will help you increase your knowledge on international relations as well as maps, and it will definitely help you in your upcoming examinations, right? So thank you for watching it. Have a good day.